All right, first and foremost, I want to say this was a paid political hit. I'm not a Secret Service guy. I'm not CIA. I'm not FBI. I'm a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, and I am unapologetically a huge Trump supporter. I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm also a rifle team coach, commander. We've done very well. I was on the rifle team in high school, rifle team in college, and I'll get to that a little bit later. I'm not a polished speaker. I get it. I've got a bunch of notes here that I want to go over. I'm here to rant, period, and put out some information to back up my claims. Most of these are factual, but some of them are just simply my opinions. So be it. Okay, first of all, like I said, I'm a huge Trump supporter. When he first announced that he was running for president, was not a big fan of him. He's a New York City blowhard. He's done a lot of good stuff. I started researching his past. He's a pretty amazing dude. They were ranting and raving that, he's filed for bankruptcy 6 times or 4 times or whatever it was. Not true. His businesses have. He's got well over 500 businesses, and between 4 and 6, depending on who you believe, had filed for bankruptcy at one point or another. That's a 99% success rate. He employs between 20 and 30,000 people for his businesses. For those people that are ranting about that, how many people do you employ? How many businesses do you have? 99%? Pretty damn good. His record as president, by any metric that you use, was amazing. Record low unemployment. GDP through the roof. Consumer confidence at all-time high. Moved our embassy to Jerusalem, as he promised. Secured our borders. Stock market went crazy. Low taxes, low interest rates. People were able to afford stuff. It was pretty amazing. Again, no matter how you compare him to anybody else, his numbers stuck. You can compare his numbers to anyone, and they were spectacular. Why anybody would not want to vote for him is beyond me. During the 2020 campaign, Trump filled stadiums. 65, 75,000 seat stadiums. Biden couldn't get 100 people to show up to listen to him. Yet they're trying to tell you that he got 81 million votes. Biden got 81 million votes when he couldn't get 100 people to show up to listen to him. That was a huge red flag to me. I don't know if you've seen 2000mules.com or not. It literally lays out how these people stuffed these ballot boxes. Okay, full of bogus. Trump was ahead. I went to bed at whatever it was, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it was. He was ahead in all these battleground states. Next thing you know, magically, mysteriously, Biden got enough votes to jump ahead of him. It was bogus. You know it. I know it. The whole damn world knows it. I knew Biden was a nut job the first time I saw that video of him talking about his hairy legs being in a pool. And then he said, and I learned about roaches. And I love kids jumping on my lap. He was a nut 10 years ago. I saw it. Everybody did. Yet somehow, magically, mysteriously, we're supposed to believe that 81 million people voted for him, despite the fact of everything that Trump did that was amazing. Again, not buying it. And recently, I don't know if you saw this or not, 4 demon rats, yes, I call them demon rats, were charged with ballot stuffing. I think her name was Wanda or something like that. And there's story after story after story after story about voter fraud everywhere. Okay, do the math. The demon rats are desperate. It's clear. They've literally tried everything under the sun to get rid of this guy. First it was Russia, Russia, Russia. Then they tried to kill Steve Scalise and other Republicans who were playing softball. They tried to assassinate Kavanaugh. They tried to kidnap other Republicans. It just went on and on and on. None of that worked. They tried calling him names, Hitler and countless other names. Now the new buzzword, or the buzzword before was bombshell. There's a bombshell. You heard it on all the news stations. Okay. Now the new word is existential. You don't even know what that means. Shut the hell up. They tried to bankrupt him with all these bogus things that'll all be overturned because it was just a joke. Again, you know it and I know it. Stuck him in an icebox for between 6 and 8 weeks for this crazy trial where they were trying him on an 8-year-old statute of limitations expired misdemeanor that they somehow magically, mysteriously figured out a way to change that. I don't know how you change an expired statute of limitations expired misdemeanor into 34 felony counts. Again, do the math on that one. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. The judge was a Biden donor. His daughter was making millions raising money for Adam Schiff and the Democrats. Again, connect the dots. Never even told him what the charges were until like the very end. And then the judge said to the jury, doesn't have to be unanimous. You're going to try to throw somebody in jail for the rest of their life, and you're not requiring a unanimous decision. Again, all this is going to be overturned when it gets to the next level, or the SCOTUS. It's all going to be overturned. Again, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Then there's Fani Willis and her lover, Nathan Wade. God, what a joke that was. And that's going to get thrown out as well, along with Letitia James and all of her BS. It's just awful. Judge Cannon slapped the hell out of Jack Smith, saying it was an illegal appointment. Well, duh. And even if it wasn't, that's going to be overturned as well. Now we come to the latest. This paid political hit. Again, I am convinced of it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to connect these dots. As the old saying goes, the most obvious answer is most likely the right answer. Well, in this case, it's obvious. Biden and his associates put out a hit on Donald Trump. Here's just a few things. Oh, gosh. Again, they've run out of ideas. They tried to do everything under the sun. And then Joe Biden used the term, the debate is over. Now it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. He'd never said that before. He'd never used that term before. What do you think that meant? Have you ever seen the series Shooter, or the movie Shooter? And there's several other movies out there with a similar type thing. You need to watch that. Okay, that was a code word for take Trump out. Again, connect the dots. This was all set up and organized. It was an outdoor rally. Decreased protection. That was huge because at the very last minute, guess who had an impromptu organization, meeting, whatever it was called, that they pulled resources from the Trump's team to go help Jill Biden. That's right. Guess who else was in the area at the time? Kamala Harris. Connect the dots, folks. This was a paid political hit. Crooks was seen 3 hours before walking around looking very suspicious. It's on video. You've seen it. He's out there walking around casing the joint. He was found with a rangefinder on him. Why would a 20-year-old kid who's not carrying golf clubs have a rangefinder on him? Secret Service basically did nothing. There were no drones, no helicopters. Trump was not surrounded by any type of plexiglass, any type of bulletproof glass. They allowed this idiot to get within 130 yards of the most well-known person on the planet. There's probably 8 billion people on planet Earth, and I'm guessing probably 7 billion of them know who Donald Trump is. And you let a 20-year-old kid with an AR-style rifle get within 130 yards? And as a rifle guy, okay, I've shot all my life. Dad taught me how to shoot long, long ago. I was on the rifle team in high school, rifle team in college. I teach and I coach rifle team. 130 yards with an AR-15 is a chip shot. It's not even a chip shot. It's a 6-inch putt if you play golf. Okay, this is an easy, easy, easy shot. It was a joke. Had a clear line of sight. No obstructions, nothing to get in the way. 130 yards with an AR-15. Guess where he was the day before? He was at the range, getting sighted in. The Secret Service head, Cheadle, I think is her name, said nobody was on the roof, no Secret Service agent was on the roof because of the slope and the safety concerns. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the building? It's a tiny, if this is dead level, this was the angle of the roof. Yet there were sharpshooters, counter snipers on the other roofs, which had a more significant slope. Connect the dots. Whew, man, this is just amazing to me. And as the old saying goes, when you're in a hole, stop digging. She keeps digging. Why she hasn't been fired immediately, again, you know just as well as I do why she hadn't been fired. Why didn't anybody get fired after Afghanistan? Again, you know the reason why. And I don't know if you see, going back to another thing, why hasn't Mayorkas been fired? Again, you know the reason. If you haven't seen this video, look it up. Joe Biden was said, I think in 2014 or 2015, he is on video talking to somebody, and Mayorkas is sitting right next to him, and Joe Biden says, I want to see a constant, unrelenting stream of immigrants coming into this country. He actually wants, and I think he says something along the lines of, people with European blood or European background or European descent to be the minorities in the United States of America for the first time in history. Now you understand why the borders have been open, wide open, for the past 4 years. He wants more immigrants. He wants more people voting for him, and he wants to change the census so that the Democrats can get more votes, more representatives, and so on and so on. Okay, so Biden says the word bullseye. That is the code word to go ahead and start the operation. Take him out. He was on that roof, lined up for about 2 minutes. I don't know if you've seen the video where they synced up where Trump is talking and the video of that one guy who shot him, who showed him on the roof. For two straight minutes, he was up on that roof and everybody was saying, hey, look at the guy on the roof. And they were yelling, he's got a gun. And still Trump was allowed to stay on that stage. Connect the dots. Look at this objectively, not subjectively. Look at objectively. And you got to remember, this is the same Secret Service who said that they can't figure out how cocaine got into the White House. It's the most secure building on planet Earth. It's got 8 billion cameras in there. It's got logs. You have to check out keys to put something in a locker. Everything is secure. And the world's finest security force can't tell you where the cocaine came from. And you've got a guy in the White House. He wasn't dishonorably discharged, but he was discharged after a month. Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's been on crack since he was probably 4 years old. His idea of a good time was snorting coke off strippers' asses, then impregnating them, and then denying that it was his kid until they took him to court. This is the most corrupt family, shy of the Clintons, and it's a close race. But the Secret Service can't figure out who brought cocaine into the White House, and they allowed a 20-year-old kid to get on top of a roof with a clear line of sight to the president, 130 yards away, with a depleted Secret Service staffing, no protection around him, no bulletproof glass. This was, again, I'm going to say it again. It's my opinion, but and I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination. But as the old saying goes, I've said it before, the most obvious answer is most likely the answer. This was a paid political hit. Sorry if you disagree with that, and you're welcome to do so. But folks, this was god awful. I'm not a very religious person. I'm not a praying person. And maybe there's something to it. Maybe something did make him turn his head, because he was facing like this, and at the last second, just as he fired, turned his head this much and rotated in. That was enough to save his life. And now you've got these libtards on TV. They did an interview out in California, of course, of these people that said it was staged. Staged. Okay, so what you're saying is Trump paid a guy who didn't even make his rifle team to get on top of a roof with an AR-15 and just shoot the tip of his ear off while killing an innocent fireman who was saving his family's life and wounding 2 others. This was staged. What is wrong with you? You are a stark, raving lunatic, and you need to be put away. You need to be put in a home with men with white coats. You need to be watched continuously, 24 hours a day, because you are an idiot. You're not ignorant. You're an idiot. You know that's not true. You just don't want to admit it. And that's the really sad part. I was never a very political person. I enjoyed watching Reagan many, many years ago. I thought Jimmy Carter was the worst president in history. That's been overshadowed a lot. I watched Reagan. I watched him transform this country. And I was definitely a big Reagan fan. But I was never that big into politics until Trump got in there, and I watched what he did, and I watched how the media has lied and lied and lied and lied to you. They told you, remember Joe Scarborough getting on there going, I'm going to tell you the truth, and F you if you can't handle the truth. This is the best Joe Biden that's ever been. He's sharp. They've been lying to you this whole time for 10 plus years about him, really more than that. And my question to all the libtards out there, here's the question I really want you to take into consideration regarding the open border. How many Americans must die, Laken Riley, for instance, the mother of 5, how many Americans must die at the hands of an illegal alien before you finally admit, oops, I made a mistake? I want to know a number. Is it 5, 10, 50, 1,000, 1,000,000? How many American citizens must die at the hands of an illegal alien before you admit you were wrong? I want to know a number. I don't do podcasts. This is probably the longest video I've ever done. So if you'd like it, give me a thumbs up. For all I know, I may start a podcast. I got one more year of teaching to do. Yes, I am a teacher. I am an unapologetic ROTC teacher. I love my job. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. I did 22 years in the Army, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel. I'm an electrical engineer. Depending on how this goes, I may do a podcast of my own. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this. Just remember, please, oh please, oh please, oh please, just remember in November who has been lying to you for years and years and years and years. Remember, they told you, the mainstream media told you that Joe Biden was just fine. He was ultra sharp. He was good. He was ready. He was ready for another 4 years. And they were telling you, the border's secure. Inflation's just transitory, and on and on and on. They've lied to you for years. Keep that in mind in November. Y'all have a good day. Bye.